What's up, guys? I'm Scott.
And I'm Colette.
And we are Romru. And after 18 months of living in this beautiful silver bullet, we made a lot of mistakes. Good morning, everyone. It is day number
1. Oh my God.
One little mishap. There's a scratch.
All right, guys. So we have a bit of a predicament. And we've learned a lot while on the road.
Now we want to give you guys our top 10 must-have items for RV life.
First up has to do with safety. Let's go outside. The number one thing that I recommend to anyone who is getting a travel trailer RV is to get a good, high quality weight distribution hitch. Now, we actually started without one. We just had a simple sway bar. And after we have upgraded, I can tell you that what we were doing was not safe at all. So what is an actual weight distribution hitch? Well, basically, you have the hitch, which attaches the trailer to the truck, and you actually have these arms. Now, these big arms act like wheelbarrow harnesses to basically put pressure on the front of the tires and just level out your whole ride. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of this. I'll put a link to a video that explains all of this, but what it really means is that everything is connected and better and just more stable when you're driving down the road. Now, I actually went with the Kurt True Track weight distribution hitch, and the reason why I liked it was that it actually had integrated sway control, which is very important when you have a single axle trailer. So basically, these arms have little bearings in place that actually force the trailer to stay straight behind the truck. There are other hitches that have optional sway bars added on, but these I felt like were going to give a much more controlled environment when driving. And when you are driving a single axle trailer like the Bambi, you are susceptible to more sway, especially when a semi passes you, you're going downhill. But once we got this installed, it was so much easier to drive. Colette was relaxed, I was relaxed. To be honest, there were times we actually forgot the trailer was behind us because it controlled the sway and it also controlled the balance so much more when driving.
Another item that you definitely need for RV life is stackable pans. Now, I have 3 pans right here that fit inside of each other. Now, why do you need stackable pans? Because space is a premium when you're in your RV. Now, we don't want our pans taking up all of this crazy space when we want to be able to store our food and our clothes and other items that are needed. So you'll want items that can be compact, but also have multiple uses. So these pans, they're called flavor cast, and they can be used on the stovetop or in an oven. Now, we don't have an oven in this Airstream, unfortunately, but we've been able to use these pans every single time we cook on our 2-burner stove. We will put a link below for some stackable pans for you guys to purchase for your RV. So one item that is not RV specific, but you should take it camping and you should have it in life in general, is exactly what Scott's wearing, and actually what I'm wearing too.
It is Cuts clothing. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know what we've been talking about. We absolutely love Cuts because, one, it looks great. I mean, I just got this brand new baby blue and Colette likes it.
I love this color on you, and I love Scott's Cuts so much that I'm wearing his hoodie right now. I steal them all the time, but they don't make women's clothing just yet, unfortunately, but hopefully soon.
But the great thing is you can get the specific cut, hence the name, that you love. V-neck, Henley, long, fitted, whatever you prefer. If you want a recommendation, I strongly recommend the long sleeve Henley because it looks great, or one of their super comfy hoodies. But we want to extend the gift of Cuts to you. So click the link below, use the code ROMRU, and you can get 15% off your first purchase of Cuts.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now it's time to get back to the list. The other thing you want to get is a good surge protector. Now this is the silent helper because when you have it and it works, you're not going to have any problems. But when you don't, quickly all the problems could add up. Now this is going to protect you from either some poor electrical circuits that have surges, or if there's a lightning strike on the grid that you're plugged into wherever you're camping. And very quickly, the damage that will be done by not having this will surpass the cost of this very quickly. This runs you about $50 to $60, and if you were to have any type of electrical damage inside the trailer, it's going to be in the hundreds, maybe $300 just for the first repair. So, highly recommend this inexpensive safety device.
Another thing that you need for your RV is a good outdoor mat. Now, we all know that RV life is super conducive to the great outdoors, and we love it. But what else is found in the great outdoors? Dirt. And what does the Airstream not like? Dirt. So, before you track your dirty shoes into your Airstream, wipe them off right here and even leave them on your mat. And then, when you walk inside your Airstream or your RV, you're gonna wanna have another mat to pick up any excess dirt that you are tracking in from the great outdoors.
Now let's talk about water. There are 2 items that you must have for your RV when it comes to water. The first thing is a pressure regulator. And this is a very cheap device that will basically maintain the pressure to prevent it from overpowering the internal plastic piping of your RV. Now, what does this do? What does that mean? Basically, without this, you run the risk of plugging in to a water source at a campground that is running 60, 70 PSI because maybe you're closer to the water source, and you leave your RV and you go hiking for the day and you come back and it is flooded. Yes, I said flooded. So this reduces the water pressure to a more manageable level that your internal plumbing is designed for. So the other thing is to have a good hose. Now, when we got our Airstream, it came with a cheap, hard, and short plastic hose. And while that would work and get us started, we found out that it was much better to have one of these. This is the 0G hose, and as you can tell, because it's not filled up, it is very easy to fold up and pack up when you want to hit the road. So recommend getting this, get the 50 footer, because you never know if maybe you're going to be mooch docking off some friends and you need to connect to a water source that's a little bit farther away than you would be when you're at a campground and it's right next to your RV.
So another item that you absolutely need for your RV is a good set of camping chairs. Now, why do you need camping chairs? Because you're gonna be out enjoying the great outdoors, roasting those s'mores by the campfire, and you wanna be comfortable. This is so loud here. Now, we have Coleman camping chairs, but I wouldn't say that they're the best out there, so you guys should do your own shopping and check for a few things. Now, you're gonna want some camping chairs that are portable enough and fold up, but also that are large enough for you to be comfortable when you're camping or boondocking. Another thing that I think you should look for in a good camping chair is a good cup holder, because you're gonna wanna enjoy your hot cocoa or your beer or whatever your drink of choice is in the comfort of your own camping chair.
The next thing is to get an external power source. There are mainly 2 options. You can get a generator, or you can get plenty of solar. Now, we have opted to do a bit of a hybrid, and we have a little bit of solar on top, and we have our generator in the back of our truck ready to go. Now, why do you need this? Well, if you want to get outside of the RV parks and do some true camping, I'm talking about what everyone dreams about whenever they buy an Airstream or an RV. It is being out in wilderness away from everyone. And now, if you want to do that and still have power to run whatever's inside your trailer after a day or two, you're gonna need something like I said, a generator or some solar. So when we started, we just had a generator, and we got very simple, an iPower generator off of Amazon. It has treated us very well. It's a 2,000 watt generator. It's done everything we could have asked for, but over the time, we added some upgrades. We added some solar and some lithium batteries, and we'll put a link right here. You can see all the details of what we've done to this Airstream to turn into a boondocking bandit. Now, you don't need to do the big upgrades. You can start very simply with just a 2,000 watt generator. But if you want to spend more time off the grid, we recommend putting more work into the batteries and solar so you can have a true boondocking bandit. Another thing you're going to want is some shoes for your trailer. You need to get some good jack stands and levelers. Now, these aren't really 100% necessary. You can get by without them, but you're going to find that when you're out camping or A place that's just not level, you really need these things. And the reason is these legs, they might be long enough to reach the ground, but we found that the trailer tends to shake a lot more when these legs are fully extended. They just kind of lose their stability a little bit. So we found that after, a few months on the road, having these to kind of raise these legs up made the trailer a lot better and much more stable when walking around. And the other thing that is an absolute must-have, though, is a leveler, something to raise up one side or the other, and let me show you that on the other side of the trailer. Now, this is an absolutely must-have for any trailer. And the reason is basically what it does is it helps level out your trailer whenever you are on unlevel ground. And now this one particularly is excellent for a single axle trailer. This, what it does is it basically has 3 different tiers. It allows you to step up each one, put the tire on very easily so that you can perfectly level out your trailer whenever there's unlevel ground. Now, I don't think this will work particularly well with a double axle trailer, but either way, you need to have something to level out your RV because you are always going to hit unlevel ground. Funny thing was, when we started, we did not have anything. So the first few nights, let's just say the bed was a little unlevel when we were sleeping those first few days. One of the last things that you're going to want to have is a good extension cord and a 120 volt adapter. Now, a lot of you are saying, hey, I'm going camping. Why do I need these things? Well, one of the great things about RV life is visiting friends and mooch stocking. I know we all talk about boondocking and being out in the wilderness, but let's be honest, we want to see friends and we want to share stories. And you're gonna need this and you're gonna need this if you're gonna be doing some mooch stocking. Because if you want to stay for any extended period of time at a friend's house, then you're gonna want to be staying inside your trailer. And having these 2 things allows you to be hooked up and fully powered. Now, recommend making sure that you get a long and then properly gauged extension cord. So you don't want to just get, a light duty extension cord. Get a more medium to heavy duty extension cord. And this one is 50 feet. So it allows us to park in someone's driveway and get to the right outlet that might be hidden in the backyard somewhere if need be. The other thing is this, very simple. It's a 120 volt adapter. It allows you to take your 30 amp plug and plug it into 120 volt.